welcome back to another episode of A Shakespearean Tragedy. If you don't know the show, it's basically a one-man podcast type thing where every episode I start with a random topic and I kind of just let my mind flow. Spit these bars. Can't say the rest of that sentence. Anyway, this week's topic, social media. Also, forgive me if I'm constantly looking down, because your boy did not remember to charge his microphone, so it was on there for about hopefully 10 minutes. I had time blindness because I was on social media. Let's get to the topic. I think social media has become somewhat of a cesspool of not only information but disinformation. I think it's very beneficial to get off of it sometimes. But then again, I'm not going to sit here and scold you about being on social media or being on your phone or devices in general. That would make me very hypocritical. I'm not one of those people who are like, hey, people should get off their phones more, while actively and then posting it to social media to have people to see. I'm not, obviously I'm no Brent Rivera or any other people who, if they got off, people finally got off their phones, they would lose their livelihoods. But I'm still on. YouTube is social media. What I'm doing right now is social media. So I get that kind of leaves somewhat of a bad taste in some people's mouths. But what a weird phrase to give, especially with the whole Epstein thing that just came, bad taste in your mouth. Anyway, I'm not going to get into politics, but that's another thing that comes out with social media, politics. Sometimes you'll have news publications giving you wrong things, or not even news publications, just the internet in general. They'll give you disinformation, and some disinformation is very detrimental or something, or they'll exaggerate things. What the heck is up with Zealandia? I don't know if I'm the only one seeing these videos, but today I've seen 4 videos being a new continent was discovered. It's under New Zealand. It's on its own tectonic plate, and eventually it'll rise out of the ocean. We need some Zealandia baddies. It's right under the city of New Zealand. Are you going there when it eventually arises in 25,000 years? I don't know if the number I just said was a real number. I'll have to ask my algebra teacher. Honestly, I don't know, because is that a number? What number did I even say? It was 2,500,000 million years. I think that's older than the universe, so I don't think we'll be seeing Zealandia in any of our lifetimes, but don't quote me on that. Also, if you're noticing, hey Brenden, this is the 14th time on the show that you've worn this shirt, and you've only had 4, 5, 6 episodes. Why are you wearing this so often? I'm filming this on a Saturday, and this is a pretty Saturday fit for me. I like this shirt. I think it fits nice on me. I think the blue brings out my eyes, my hair. I like long locks on the beach. If you ladies, I'm single right now, so hit me up while you still can. On social media, brought it back. I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back and throwing it back. Anyway, but hit me up on social media. That's also another thing that I feel is detrimental. People using social media as their only form of contact with people. Yes, I believe that is a good thing, especially when you have a friend that moves away. But I don't think that necessarily you should be meeting all of your friends online. I feel you should meet people in real life, because also, if the amount of things that can go awry if you talking to people online if you never met them in real life. And I'm not saying that every single case is like this. I know dating apps, sometimes bad things do happen, but sometimes good things happen. Sometimes good things come out of a DM. I'm not talking about the things that have worked out because they've met each other in real life, or like it's it worked out in the end. What more can I say? Nothing bad happened. Well, sometimes it does, but what am I even saying at this point? I just need to stop rambling. Just kidding. That's this whole show's idea. Um, like people like lying about who they are on the internet and then talking to people, like catfishing, or can I say pedophile? I don't know if I can say pedophiles. I might bleep it. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely something that comes with that. Who's letting their kids on the internet? Who's letting little kids get on the internet and talk to old people? Who's at some point you kind of gotta look at the common denominator. Millennial parents. I'm just kidding. This has been a problem for a long time, but shoving, that's another point I want to get to. You're actively giving your fetus access to the whole internet, every single good thing, every single bad thing, every single thing that's kind of controversial in between, everything that, hey, maybe they shouldn't need to worry about politics, or the threat of nuclear war, or hey, I don't know, pedophiles at their age. I mean, they're going to have to because pedophiles exist, but I need to stop saying that word. This might get it wasn't monetized to begin with, but they don't need to be talking about those or learning about those. And sure, you can have like the kids version. There's kid safety ones that we have precautions for this, but even then, giving your kid access to cocomelon every hour of every day, and then getting mad at them when they want to use their iPad at dinner time in a restaurant, of course they're going to. You've actively, you know how like people are like, teens are so addicted to their phones, young adults are so addicted to their phones. Yeah, but I feel like we've at least seen the world without our phones. Sure, I was born after the iPhone came out. I was born after the smartphone came out. Just not that far off. Don't worry, I'm not like super young, but I didn't get a phone until like halfway through 6th grade. And at that, sure, even then I probably could have gone without one for a little while longer, but but the fact that every single other person in my class, pretty much except for me, already had a phone, or had a phone for over 3 years when we were in 6th grade, was astonishing. And I think it's only going to get worse with us handing off iPads to little kids who don't even know how to count or read, and then getting mad at them because they're not developing correctly. It's because this is the only time I'll say this in this episode, because it's like kind of a adult-ish thing to say, is because of the damn technology. Your kids don't know how to read. Your kids are so stupid. That's why I'm worried about this Gen Alpha. Well, not like the Gen Alpha that are like born in 2010. Oh, I am worried about them. That's a lie. I am worried as heck about them. But like, what's the next generation? I think there was a new generation that was supposed to start this year. I think it's like, are we going with Gen Beta? Is that like, is there any debate on that? Is there any like reform that we could do? Like, sign up at all? That, oh, okay, that's official. That's what we're going with. Okay. So Gen Beta. Sure, all of them. The oldest of them are like what month are we in? We're in November already. The oldest of them are like 11 months old. They're not even a year old. I know for a fact that majority, I think it's like every other generation, like mo- like Gen X raises most of Gen Z, and millennials raise like most of Gen Alpha, and then like later, well, earlier born Gen Zs might have some Gen Alpha kids, and then or teen pregnancies, whatever. But that's not today's episode. Tune in the next time when I talk about teen pregnancy. Just kidding. That if that's ever a topic, that won't be a topic for a very, 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 very long time. Very. I feel like I need to hit a word count on this. Very, very, very long, long, like long, schlong, super, super big and girth. No, super big, long period of time. Emphasis on period. I'm on mine right now. Anyway, literally, what was I just talking about? Oh, yeah, generations like that. The Gen Z, most of them are going to be now raising Gen Datas. I think like that generation in between is mostly raised by the generation two generations before them, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't have any hate for millennials except for those millennial core videos that are like, ah, ah. Wait, let me get a visual aid. Millennial core videos be like, is it sad that I can relate to a trash can? Because this is literally me. Ah, oh, and look, it's empty inside, just like my soul. Isn't that so funny, guys? Self-deprecation, peak comedy. I was on Vine when I was in 16. I was the best generation. I don't have any hate for millennials, but I don't have any hate for millennials, but sometimes I look at their children and I'm like, this might be an issue. Maybe I shouldn't be speaking on this because I'm not old. I will not be having kids for a very, well, I don't know about very long time, but I'm a teenager. I have no plans to have those for a while, so I don't know much about parenting. I will admit that. But yeah, but making them watch cocomelon 14 hours a day and then getting mad at them when they scream that they can't watch when you say they can't watch any more cocomelon. I don't I think maybe there's an issue there. And back to those millennial cringe videos. We're getting back to social media. I don't know why I always mention whenever I'm doing a segue, like I have to announce it. That might be an issue. Whenever I see those millennial core videos, I some I'm not even kidding. Like sometimes when I see those videos, I just shut my phone off. Sometimes I'm like turn off the TV, turn off the turn off the lights. Why did Edison invite light bulbs that would eventually turn into LEDs that would eventually like go into screen technology? And I just sit there and think about my life and how I'm wasting it watching millennials uh say elder millennial when they're talking about their age group. And I just sit there in that silence, that that void of all other feeling other than existential dread and waste of the feeling that I've wasted all my life watching this, sitting here wondering what is to come of me. Is there anything else but this? Is there anything I can do to stop this? And there is. Social media needs to be stopped. I'm just kidding. Sorry, that got really deep for a second, like almost as deep as I got in your mom last night. Ayo. Back to what I was saying. I really haven't talked that much about social media, but back to social media. Everybody on social media, all they do is just post the good stuff, or like the peak stuff. They'll edit things to make them look better than they actually are. They'll change the narrative. Everything you see on there is either like, oh no, the world is gonna end. I'm gonna like all gonna have to get in a fighter jet and leave the atmosphere and head to Mars, and then grow potatoes from our own fecal matter. And then the next video you see is like, get ready with me to go to my uncle's funeral, or or this is the day in a life of living at home with my parents. And then they're just living, even though sometimes they are genuinely, I'm like, what are you doing with your life? But they play it up, and they sometimes I think, oh, they're actually having a good life. But that's only because we're only posting that much. We only post the good or the bad because nobody likes to think about anything in between. And when they're posting the good, they're really posting the bad because they're just trying to get people to envy them. And they're trying to get them to sit in that envy, and until they can like have the last few seconds of the post just be a blank screen, so the person who's watching it can sit there and see their own reflection and be like, why am I on the toilet? I've been here for 20 minutes and I'm still constipated. I'm still watching this video. What am I doing? This person's out here surfing. This person's out here country line dancing. This person's out here having the best time of their life. They're spending time with their friends and family, while meanwhile I'm here on the toilet. Just something you have to do, so you shouldn't be ashamed of. But we only ever post things like that. And sure, sometimes I've been guilty of this myself. Well, not necessarily posting things to get people jealous of me, but I'm like, I'm only posting the good. And maybe that's because I only have footage or photos, or I only take photos of when I'm feeling good or when I'm feeling. Why would I take a photo of or a video of when I'm like, hey, what am I doing with my life? What am I gonna do? I don't take photos of that. I don't. Nobody does. Actually, there might be a few. I know some girls like to take photos of them when they're crying. And so that's not a judgment. I'm just like, I don't understand that. It's not a judgment. But, and then the rest of it, we're just watching the bad. We're just watching the bad. So all we're doing is either being like, oh, this world sucks, or, oh, this person's life is so great, but mine is so bad. Even though you really have to look at it through, like, without the rose-colored lens. Even though it's not real, it's like rotten apple colored lens. I don't know, and be like, hey, sure, I'm not like a millionaire. Sure, I'm not sure I'm not a celebrity. Sure, I'm not doing this, which all come with their own like some semblance of like challenges, same as challenges I would have in my life right now. But no matter what, somebody always has it worse. Your girlfriend just cheated on you. Hey, man, that sucks. I'm not in that genuinely. That sucks. But someone's dad died. And I'm not saying, oh, you should feel bad because some people have it worse. Which is another thing people try to get you to do on social media. Well, you should feel bad for them. You should, like, if you can ever help, you should try to help. Which is one thing like I see on social media a lot. Like, people are like, this is my friend from blah 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 country and they're starving, they're doing this, and those people are doing good. I believe so, but also you're kind of exploiting it in a way. But somebody always has it worse. And that's not trying to get you to, like, your feelings are valid whenever you feel them. You should feel them. But you still, like, you are living a life better than somebody else has. And I'm not saying, oh, you should feel bad. You should feel gross of yourself because of the position that you're in, necessarily. No. No, you shouldn't. All I'm saying is you can't let what you feel hold you back. Why did this just turn into me being an inspirational quote? Why did this turn into me being an inspirational, like a motivational speaker for a little bit? Anyway, back to talking about stuff. About social media, I believe, is the topic here. But time blindness is a genuine thing. You can keep scrolling and be like, oh, I just wasted my whole day doing this. I just wasted my whole day doing something that didn't matter. I don't know when I honestly, I might have to like make another episode of this, or like, because I feel like I might have more to say. But my mic's about to die, so make sure, anyway, I guess that'll be all for this week. Make sure to subscribe, look out for any other episodes, and subscribe to my main channel at Brenden is Bizarre on YouTube. Yeah, for real. Lock in, homies.